And we are live on another edition of All In on High School Sports. Jennifer Valenti, Kurt Valenti, how are you?
I am well. How are you?
Ah, what a run. What a run. You know, I'm not going to lie. I wish we should be playing game one tomorrow, the Eastern Conference Finals. You know, I said this to you a couple of weeks ago that
We're talking about the Knicks, by the way.
yeah, we're talking about the Knicks, but just so you know, I it's gonna be what our 5th year anniversary, 6th year together, and seventh is it really? Wow. But anyway, I kind of told you, you really haven't seen me with one of my teams. My teams haven't been good in the past 7 years, and this run brought it back. And do you believe me now when I say?
Oh, I never doubted it. I just didn't see it firsthand. And,
but you saw this firsthand.
I can see you just in regular games, right? And then I can see you when you bet a team how you act. And now I got to see
this style,
as pure fandom. And I
but
never
what a
doubted
run!
It.
What a run! And I'm just excited
exciting
for the summer, excited for next year, and let's go. But we're not talking hoops again tonight. What are we going to talk tonight?
Well, we are going to welcome Coach Kyle Steele of the Irvington Girls Flag Football Program back to our program tonight. He is a returning guest. I'm not going to say too much because I kind of
we got some stuff going on.
We really want him to elaborate on, and we're really glad that he is able to join us. So, would you like me to bring him in? Are we ready to go? Let's bring Coach right in. Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Hey, pretty good. How y'all doing?
Good. Thanks so much for joining us. It's so nice to have you back.
Yeah, great to be here. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure and an honor to even be back here, too. So I'm a veteran, right?
Oh, you are, Coach. You are. Coach, are you a Knicks fan?
No, I'm actually a Laker fan, but I'm happy for the Knicks. Basketball is better when the Knicks are good.
It is. Right? Same thing with the Lakers. Same thing. So good luck. You guys are starting tonight, 8:30. We got to get Coach off in 27 minutes because he's got game one coming on. So,
but I'm happy for the Knicks. It's feel good playoffs, a nice run. I know all the Knicks fans happy about Brunson and how he was doing his thing, but it was good. I'm happy for the Knicks.
Absolutely, and good luck again in the Western Conference. Listen, I'm not gonna lie, it hit me last night. Oh, by the way, happy birthday yesterday. I forgot to get it on today. So Jen's birthday yesterday.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you very much.
And Coach, I was a little torn because I said she would have had to sit through on her birthday a game 7. I don't know what she would do. I'll be honest. I don't know what she would do, Coach.
Coach. I'm a fan too. Hopefully, if they had gotten to the game 7, I was hoping my birthday would bring them luck, but we didn't get there. So what are you going to do?
Next year, Coach. Next year. But thank you, Coach, again for taking time out of your busy schedule for joining. Of course.
Coach's introduction before we got sidetracked there. We're joined by Coach Kyle Steele, Irvington Girls Flag Football, defending state champions at Irvington Flag Football. They just finished their 2023 spring season with a record of 6-0, clinching the Super Football Conference Liberty Division. So congratulations on that, Coach. And you will begin the defense of your title, if I'm not mistaken. Dr. John keeps us abreast of all this, your AD. You'll begin defense of your title a week from today when postseason action begins, right? Opponent to be determined, correct?
Yes.
All right, awesome. Congrats, welcome back, and good luck.
Dr. John is saying happy birthday, Hoops.
Oh, thank you, Dr. John.
Kenny saying evening and welcome to another episode of the greatest high school sports talk on earth. And he's saying maybe the Broncos will actually have a decent year. So, Coach, thank you again so much for coming on tonight. And, first thing I guess we'll start talking about is now, the high school all-star game, this North-South game that was always the big thing for all the boys. Now, it's with the girls flag football. So can you talk a little bit about how that went about and how you're involved in that?
Well, it was just a great idea in the beginning, and I just kind of got bought in. Some great guys had put in the legwork in the beginning as far as like putting in the conferences and deciding what's actually going to be the North and what was going to be the South and what would be the game. So what ended up happening was we're going to have our first annual North-South game at halftime of the boys game. So We're going to be at King University June the 11th with all of the eyes there because obviously everybody's used to coming to the North-South game, and it's structured where we'll have the SFC and the NJIC can be in the North and all of the other conferences be in the South. So it makes up about like 42-ish teams on each side.
Oh, that's awesome.
So amazing. Just again, the growth over these past couple of years and just the exposure and the things they're still like, the girls are still getting involved in. I mean, every season it just gets better and better. Would you agree, Coach?
Yes, definitely. The growth from the beginning, the first year was 8 teams, and now we got enough to have 40 in a conference. So definitely.
Unreal. That's fantastic. And the other thing that Dr. John shared with us, which we wanted you to speak to also, is that you guys have Nike pairs with the NFL for they're going to do their second annual football classic to kick off the 2023 high school football season. And it's going to be held, and if I get anything wrong, please correct me, at the Nike World headquarters in Oregon. There will be a high school football game and I think 2 flag football games, and you guys were selected as one of the girls flag football teams to represent. Is that correct?
Correct.
Oh, that's how exciting. I mean,
what an honor.
Oh, definitely. Tell us about, again, Dr. John has been so good to us. He tells us a lot of things. Like, when did you find out? How did you tell the girls? Like, tell us all about it.
So it's kind of still surreal because it's so new. I'm still a fan of the stuff, right? So I'm still finding out things. The game is only 2 years, right? So last year was the first time Nike ever did it with girls flag football. And I was a fan. I'm watching it on an NFL network. So the 2 teams that played last year, I watched the game. So I watched the game as a fan, and now my team is being able to play in it. So I guess it's like somebody being able to watch a Super Bowl and then have their team playing it. It feels sort of like that because I watched the game live on TV, watched the teams, watched the coaches, watched the experience that they went through. I follow both teams on Instagram, and now my team is able to go travel to Oregon and play in it. So I knew for a while, but we weren't able to say anything until Nike released it.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the hardest thing in the world
to
not say anything, but it's super excited. So I'm just glad that they released the information. So I was able to kind of say
how pumped up were the girls, Coach?
Oh, they were super excited. They were super excited to know, like, because it was a small window where our girls started to feel like they were not being appreciated, or like people didn't realize that they were good because other teams were getting recognition or getting different things. And I was like, look, trust me, people know how good you are and you're getting recognized. Just keep working and you'll get everything that you deserve. Mind you, in the background, I know that they know and they know, but it's like I can't say anything. Just keep working. Stay humble and keep working.
Dr. John said, I sat on it for 2 months without telling the girls and parents. It was tough.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Now how will that work, Coach? Like, what is that in like August? Is that when it is? Like, do they have like you fly out there? They have, or if you don't even know those details yet, or if they
we got those details.
Okay.
So they real detail oriented with everything. So it's in August. They go out there for 3 days, and I guess they give them a full experience with different stuff. So they give them like a schedule of what we could do, and they actually get a chance to like play the game. I'm pretty sure they'll get the experience and be friends with the other teams that's out there and experience things together with them. That's the things that I got to see last year with the teams that went out there. The 2 teams that went out there last year did things together because you want to grow the sport. The main thing, even though it's competitive and you want to play and you want to win, the major thing is you want these girls to have a lifelong experience and you want them to grow the sport. They're representing the sport now as some of the best teams in America right now.
Yeah. Now, Coach, this might sound like a stupid question I'm going to ask you, but a girl who graduates, will she be able still to go? Like, you have any seniors on the team?
I believe so. That's what we're assuming right now, that like they're the ones that pretty much earned the rights,
Right,
because
right.
with it being in August and it being a spring sport, we wouldn't even know who would be the ones that's coming out next year. So the ones that's
Oh
on the
yeah,
team
Dr.
now would
John
be the
said
ones
yes,
to
they
join.
are allowed.
Yeah,
So
we
there you
wouldn't
go.
even know who would be on a team in the spring
Right.
or would try out in the spring. So we just leave it to the ones that's on the team right now to be the ones that
That's cool.
represent us out there.
And you know what? That's how awesome is where you think like you graduate
Yeah,
and then it's like, okay,
something
my high
extra
school
still
career is
done,
over.
yeah.
And now they're looking and it's like, wow, we're going to this, 2-3 months from now. They still have something to look forward to. So that's awesome. That's great.
And coach, you guys are playing a team from California, is that correct?
Yes.
And they're sponsored by the Chargers.
Yes.
That again, like just the NFL and how again, it's just amazing to see how many teams they're sponsoring, and it's just the growth has been unreal. It's been great, right?
So, Coach, getting into this season, like Jen said, you guys defending champs, undefeated. And I know we talked about this when you came on last year, but would you say that you've seen, teams really going at you more this year since you guys were the champs? And how have your girls responded to it? And how the discussion with you and the girls of you're gonna get everybody's best and probably beyond best game after game after game.
Well, we honestly didn't give teams a chance to. I like you heard last year. Last year we said we wanted to win a state championship. Like that was what we wanted to do. This year we said we wanted to be the best team in America. Like that was the goal from the beginning of the year. We said we wanted to be the best team in America. This is what we're working for. We're gonna practice this type of hard. Like we said it at the interest meeting, so the students that were coming out for the team understood it was a reason why we were working this hard. Like so, it was like it's a method to our madness. It's a reason why we were practicing it on these days, and this the reason why we're doing this, so that you understand what you're coming into. The people who here already know this, but if you're new and you're coming in, it's the reason why we're doing this. We didn't want to just sit around and let people like give us their best effort. We wanted to like make sure we just kept in charge of what we wanted to do. So we wanted to keep our best foot forward and we make new goals.
Nice, very nice. And coach, can you highlight some of your players? You have some returners, right, and maybe some newcomers who have made an impact.
Definitely. We got a lot. We got a lot. You don't do this well without having a whole bunch of really, really good players. But we were lucky enough to return almost the whole roster from last year. So we graduated like a handful, maybe like 3 people from last year's team, and they were great. Love those girls. But on our returners, we had, to me, I felt like the best player in the country, Janasia Wilson. She plays quarterback. She plays safety for us. Do returner. She kind of does a little bit of everything. We got Faith Phillips, who's a receiver. Megatron, we call it Megatron. Any like football fans that know the real Megatron, if you ever seen Megatron play, you kind of understand how she plays. We got Samaya Dixon, receiver. Serenity Rodriguez, receiver, returner. Samaya Hill, returner, receiver. We have, let me try to think. We have Chanel Hayes at running back. Like I could just go through our whole lineup as far as returners. We picked up one new girl, Anaya McLean. She actually starts both ways, and that's kind of hard to do because we could when I tell you subbing in and out, we could sub in and out for days. Like our second team is no like wrong answer or right answer. Like we had a girl like that was kind of hurt that's coming back. Brianna Hertilian. I think she's one of the best players in the country as a junior returner, 2-year starter. I don't know. It's like I don't know. I don't want to just read the roster, but I just love them. I feel like it's a whole bunch of them. Our second string quarterback, her numbers, like she got multiple games where she got 3 touchdowns. Like I don't know.
So you're basically the Alabama of girls flag football, or Georgia now.
Now that you saying that, but we've had conversations in practice where we talked about Alabama and Georgia because that's the mindset that they had to have.
Yeah.
Because when you have that many of them that are good, it had to be an unselfish thing where it doesn't matter who's making the plays. If the whole team is doing good, the whole team gets the rewards. And that was what we was preaching from the beginning. That's why I'm so happy that they're getting like the chance to do the Nike Classic and stuff like that. Because in the beginning, we were preaching that it's so many of you that's good. That's like a good problem. And y'all all will reap the benefits just from just not being selfish and working together and doing things. Because we got girls who don't start, who would start at other places, and they just working together. Like, trust, you will end up going to school or doing things just by working together. You'll get the benefits together.
And you know what? Oh, I'm sorry, Jen. Go ahead, Jen.
I was gonna say, Coach, it's like you said, it's a good problem to have. We talk about all the time about like having strong programs in all sports and like having a freshman team and a junior varsity team, and how like it just bodes well for the program to have that depth that you guys have. That's great. And I was just wondering, like, now you have this exposure even, like, so have the girls been thinking and like pursuing opportunities to continue to play at the next level? Because I feel like that's now a door, an avenue that's open to them.
Oh, definitely. Like, so right now, our seniors are the main ones that's kind of like getting the benefits of it. So you have somebody like Faith Phillips who have about like 4 schools that's offering her to play flag football at the next level. We also have Samaya Dixon, Anaya McLean, and they got a lot of interest from different schools. We had Samaya Hill who had 2 offers, but she decided to take an academic scholarship to another school, but she had 2 offers already to go to school. It's like this group right here, I'm just so proud of them because they had the ability, they had the chance to use the flag football for what it was for in the beginning. We told them, like, look, you're really, really good. Use this as a chance to further your education, and they're getting a chance to now.
That's awesome. Now, how do those coaches, like, again, it's such a growing sport, and I know like in other sports, you travel in the summer, you do a club team. Is this more like they contact you? You put film together to send them? How is that working in this early stages of this game growing?
Now, I'm kind of new to this, right? So I'm just giving you a real honest story. So I set up an Instagram for our girls page early. So the algorithm, I don't want to mess the word up, but I guess what you look for, it shows you. 2 years ago, I had no idea that it was girls football in college, because obviously on my personal page, I wasn't really looking for it. But once I set up the page for the girls team, that's all I was looking at, and that's all that I was seeing. So it's big, and that's all I was seeing. And I'm like, oh my God, it was like a whole new world opened up. So on our page, well, now it's super big, and we're talking to colleges almost every day now. But once that world opened up, it was like a floodgate. And then it was just like me letting them know that we existed. Like, look, we got some super talented girls here. You need to see them. So it took a little bit of while for us to even like move the needle to let them know that we got some super talented girls here. And now they kind of know. But now, like you said, showing film and proving that we're good, and now they kind of got an idea that we're good. So they actually hit us up, and every time we put highlights up, they like them and see it, and they hit us up. They hit the girls up individually. It's like a good thing to see now.
That's great.
Dr. John saying NAIA Division I voted to make girls flag football scholarship sport this year. Coach Steele has been amazing in helping our girls receive exposure, go to camps, clinics, and push the players on social media to aid them to be seen by the NAIA teams that provide
That's
scholarships.
awesome.
Coach, I got one more for you. And, as good as you guys were last year, you said a lot of the girls came back. So you have most of the same team. Would you say, even as good as you guys were last year, the play's even better this year? You guys got more advanced and stuff. You added offensively, defensively, terminology has gotten, the girls have more knowledge. Would you say there's even more of a difference this year and all that stuff?
Oh, definitely. But I don't even think, I'm not even going to say like I think it's like the terminology, all that type of stuff, because we still got girls who came out that were like totally new. So we didn't want to move too much. I think the biggest difference is the experience of the girls that come back, because when I see teams that come with girls that are like super athletic or really talented, the biggest difference is teams that have girls that got experience. That experience and knowing how to play and knowing what to do, it just makes such a big difference. And we just happen to have both. We have super talented girls that know how to play, they experience, they know what to do, they're not easily rattled, they know what to do. And I feel like that's the major key there. And we just happen to have it right now. So yeah, I think they got better, but I think the best part is because they're super experienced. And I guess you could add that to the coaching staff too, where we're getting more experience with the
Yeah.
stuff too. But I give a lot of credit to the girls.
Nice. Coach, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're so glad to share the exciting news with the two things going on. You guys will always be, and we include Dr. John because we know he's a big supporter of the program. And even whenever we have other teams on, he's always offering them advice and offering help. You will always be one of the trailblazers of this sport. And to watch it grow, continue to grow with you at Irvington's helm, it's so nice to see. So congratulations, on everything you've done so far, the experience you're giving these student athletes, and best of luck as you chase that repeat.
Oh, definitely. Before I can't get on here and not give a shout out to our coaches though, like the other coaches, because Coach Bender, he actually coaches our defense. And right now they're doing awesome. Lights out. We have plenty of games where the team doesn't score at all. And we actually picked up Mike Galarsi, Coach Galarsi. He just like he grew up playing through Irvington and he helps out so much with the girls. So those two, like they do so much to help out that I couldn't get on here and just not say their names.
No, hey, it's a great shout out to them.
Yeah.
Coach, again, like Jen said, congratulations on an awesome run. Good luck the rest of the way, and good luck with your Lakers tonight, starting tonight.
Hey, I hope I got to get game one. I hope we just get game one and then to the finals. I predicted in the beginning that we'll beat the Celtics to get the championship crown, but we'll see. Gotta get past Denver first.
Coach,
that would be a great throwback, a Lakers
Yes.
final.
Coach,
That'd
I'm
be
just
awesome.
throwing this out within maybe the next 2 years, next year, the year after. Can you imagine a Nick Laker championship?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. That was like ratings times 1,000. That rating.
But I could see it coming. I'm telling you, they're in such a good place. That's why I'm happy for them. I think Brunson is the best piece since Ewan.
Absolutely.
100%.
I just feel like they're in a good because they started doing it the right way. They started building things the right way, not going for the quick move. But I'm super happy about things going. I'm a fan to just making sure things is done the right way, and I feel like they're doing it the right way.
Let's go. Let's go.
Thanks again, Coach.
Okay, no doubt.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Talk to you
All right.
soon. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Good night. Coach Steele. I would love to be on his team.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm just shocked he came on the show with game one. If you meant, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be on tonight.
I know we reschedule all in for Knicks games.
By the way, breaking news. Two things. The Knicks did not get the 11th pick, so Dallas keeps their pick, and the Spurs. And listen, my boy Carson is not going to be happy because he had tied with the best odds, and they got the 4th pick, and the Spurs get another. Like they're showing it. Duncan, Robinson, and they're going to get
Oh, this
what's
guy
it, Wembenyama
from Europe, right?
from Europe, and another game changer. So
Wow. Yeah.
hope Carson's not throwing anything. I know he's bowling tonight. That bowling ball, I don't know where it's going, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. So yeah, just just an unbelievable accomplishment. And I love how it's the girls, like Coach is saying, like these were the girls that did it,
Mm-hmm.
so they get a chance to come back and they're able to be to be the ones, even though they graduate, they come back.
To do the in Oregon with the football, the Nike NFL thing out there. That's what you mean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
got a little time. I got a couple topics. You and I were fine. I don't think we're going to be as fiery tonight,
Okay.
but it's some good topics. Number one.
I'm in the dark about these
Yeah, you are.
topics,
You have no
so
idea.
This is off the cuff for me.
So I'll start
Okay.
number one. NILs, right?
Mhm.
We've actually had people on the show, right? The girls at Morris Catholic,
Mhm. Or the
Jimmy
our
Mullins,
wrestler, yeah,
St.
mhm,
Joe's, was it
mhm.
Eat Clean? Was it Eat Clean Bro or whatever it is?
Right.
So the NILs are out there. One, do you like that?
Oh, just straight up, do I like
Yeah,
it?
I got a
Okay.
couple parts of this.
Just for high school or in
No, we're
even
talking high
college?
school. High
Oh,
school.
just high school?
Yeah.
Whew. Like I have trouble giving like black and white answers like that, right? So I'm torn. Because I heard, I don't know, I sent you something the other day. It was about one of the top quarterbacks in Texas being recruited, and he already has like $250,000, I feel like, in NIL deals.
But that was to
correct?
college.
I know, but I'm just saying that like I think it's great, and I think, but I don't know. I guess I worry that one of the things I love about college sports, and I'm saying college because you're going to start in high school and go to college, is that you play for the pure love of the game. That was something I always loved about NCAA basketball in particular, and I just worry that this is going to change that. I guess that's my fear.
Well,
Do I think that they should be able to take advantage of something like that? Yes. Right. And there's the whole, again, in college, the whole concept of like, hey, this university is making money off of them. Like, should they be able to make money? I don't know. I guess that's my fear, that it's going to turn into that and we're going to lose playing for the love of the game, and the focus is.
But
gonna
I guess,
become
can you do
monetary.
something? So say we live in Clifton High School. Okay. Great wing place. We're going to give it a shout out. Sharkies, right? What's your thoughts on, hey, Sharkies is going to have, whether they have, listen to me, social media, posters, they got quarterback. Hey, we're going to have a little NIL with you throughout the year. You're going to be like one of our, not a sponsor, but you're going to be one of the faces of Sharkies in Clifton.
It could be as simple as like that athlete, like in their Instagram stories posting, a Sharkies thing, like what,
But I'm saying, what's your thoughts on? I love that idea because one, it could get a place like Sharkies involved with the school. Okay, the kid could get but I'm saying now the kid could make a little money, and maybe they do the girls softball team, they do a basketball team. Listen, they ain't gonna have 60 kids from a football team, but maybe they do the quarterback or they do a position. So you get a place like a Sharkies, you get bagel shops in Elmwood Park and Hasbrook Heights and stuff like that. What do you like that or you don't like that? I like it.
Again, you know what? I said I'm torn. I told you, I answered. I'm torn. Another thing, kind of a positive that could be though for that is sometimes kids can't play sports because they might have to have a job, right? And like this would enable them maybe to not have to forego playing a sport because they could be making, so that would be a positive. I told you my one is just my fear of like just it becoming the wrong reason. That's really my only hang up on it, to be honest with you. And I guess that really would only happen with like the really big, type of deals. So
okay. Number two, and we talked about this last week. We went with we both, I believe, applauded the NJSIAA came down. We have a situation going on. We won't mention teams, but we have a situation going on with we got into the whole recruiting transfer, and there is like a litigation now. There's some litigation in there with two schools. One school saying they
They
you
had
know,
players
recruited kids,
yeah.
stuff like that. So the schools are fighting, yada, yada, yada. There's our good friend, Brian Roof. What's going on, Brian? How are you?
Thank you for watching.
So getting back into this, and this is where I believe it. And, you know, I'm going to go from high school to pros right now. But what's the biggest sports? I believe it was Sunday. What's the biggest sports, you know, story now? John Morant, right? You know, you had the commissioner, you're going to get suspended for this. I'm laying down the law. He went out. He did it again.
Okay.
We're going to see what punishment he gets. The NJSIAA, and I will stand by this 1000%. You better stand by your punishments. Okay? Meaning if this happens again, okay, that, you know, who did you talk to? It should be none. If you're going to go and say, this is the, you know, we don't want you communicating. We don't want you communicating with another school. If it happens, no one game, that coach is gone. The head coach is gone. And this is another reason we sat here for an hour last week and we talked about head coaches, okay? Head coaches hiring their staffs. Okay. And here's a situation.
What's the question?
No, but here's my question is, here's a situation we got, because in this situation, we have the head coach saying, I didn't know he did this. So my point now is twofold.
Okay.
This shows that head coach, okay, if I hire you, that's on me.
Right.
Whatever you do is a reflection of me.
Yes. Yeah.
Here it's, I didn't know what you did.
Well, exactly.
So
if that truly was the case, that he truly didn't know what his coach was doing, it doesn't matter. You hired that coach, and like you said, you are the head of that program. So whether that is the truth or not, whether you knew or didn't know, you have to take ownership that one of your staff members then did something that you know, so it's still on you.
Right. But my point though is what I'm saying here though now is, you know, the NJSIA has talked big.
Right.
But now you better enforce it.
Right.
Okay. Just like the commissioner in the NBA, because Morant just laughed in his face. So he better not get a 20-game suspension. He's back for the playoffs.
Well,
what's NJSIA going to do? That's my point.
Well, I don't know what they're going to do, and I'm not familiar enough with what the protocol is like for each offense or how that goes. I don't know.
But if you want to stop this,
wait. You also have to make you are someone who likes to go jump 10 steps forward with some type of punishment. You know, the punishment has to fit the crime, and there has to be like, oh gosh, the term is escaping me, but like, you know, levels of, you know, first offense, second offense. I mean, sadly, you know, you can't. Kurt,
but the state is saying this isn't allowed anymore.
I know, but you can't just like.
So if we're gonna have slaps on the wrist, well, I need the quarterback. I'm gonna go get the quarterback. My freshman coach is gonna get suspended for 2 games. I still got the quarterback. Stop it.
Nobody's saying the freshman coach gets suspended. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying there has to be something, but it has to be followed, has to be fair, and it has to also be, again, a type of thing where the punishment fits the crime, you know. So it's not there's not this black and white answer for it.
If you're going to talk that big game,
there's going to be different infractions, and there needs to be different consequences to fit those.
Right, but I will say it again.
But I agree with you. Yes, it has to be enforced 100%.
I say again.
Otherwise, it's never going to stop.
If they are right, if their goal is school A, we don't want school A to communicate with a kid in school B once he's a freshman, then you know what? If it happens, whoever it is, that coach is done. That staff is done. That's it. That's how it's going to stop. Not by a 3-game suspension and he's got the kid in the state tournament.
I tell you,
stupid.
I'll tell you what's not fair is, and we talked about this on the college level, and I don't know, and Dr. John maybe could speak to this better. What's not fair is that the kids on the team suffer with like team consequences, like you can't play in the state tournament, and those kids
Yep.
have nothing to do with that.
You're right.
That's I
You're
find
right.
that to be unfair.
You're
and
right.
like you're saying, there should be something that the coach has to pay that
Yep.
consequence. You
But-
know,
but
where
again-
the kids are able. I mean, I guess they can afford them the opportunity to go elsewhere. That should be afforded to those kids. Like if their coach has an infraction, they should be afforded the opportunity, penalty free, to go elsewhere, because that is not fair. They
But-
chose to a school, and I shouldn't even say that, because a public school don't even have that choice. That's not fair. Let's say their coach does, even just, it doesn't have to be the same thing. Recruiting a coach who does something where they're coaching them out of season or something, you know,
Yep.
like, it's unfair that those
Yep.
kids who didn't have that, you know, didn't make that decision have to suffer the consequences.
And Brian saying it hurts the program and everyone associated.
Uh-huh.
And again, it's why I just say that, you know, this, and especially I'm going to say more at the public schools, it's got to stop with, you're hiring, this guy's the coach. It's the head coach, because I get to be the head coach and I hire you and you do something shady. That's on me. I don't know who you are if you're just thrown to me. You're taking Jennifer Valenti as your coach. Who's she?
That's an interesting point to make about not being able to hire coaches, and then you have a coach who you really don't think is, you know, morally and ethically
Right.
someone that you want on staff and is representing. You know, that's a problem. I mean, it's a problem anyway, but when you have to deal with that, let's say that this situation where this head coach is saying, I didn't know my assistant coach did that, and that's a guy he didn't pick for his staff.
Right.
You know, that's
Now you're taking a
yeah.
hit for somebody that the
Right,
school did it.
right.
But it's why the school has to say, Kurt, you're the head coach. These were the coaches last year. Let me know if you want them. Tell me who you want on the staff. That's it. End of story. Boom. Easy. Part 3. All right. You know, we have, you know, a lot of times we talk about high school basketball, girls and boys. We've talked about conference tournaments, going into state tournaments. And that kind of resembles like the NCAA tournament, where it's like a one and done thing, right? Same thing where we get along with football, right? There's no best of 3, best of 7. It's you play, and, you know, all levels. You play until you're out. You continue, you're done. Okay. Marie, I want to catch up on a couple comments. Dr. John, there is a new chart available that indicates the consequence for each type infraction that is committed. I'll send it to you. It's pretty black and white. Now, once a coach program is found guilty of illegal recruiting, very good. Please send that. Brian saying this is why it's important the coaches choose their staff, because the coach will have to own anything that 1,000%,
Mhm.
1,000%. Again, I
Yeah.
can sit here for 10 years, an hour a day. It's the most idiotic thing when I see a school say, you know, so-and-so is a teacher. They just become the coach and you have to hire them. Plain dumb. Just, I can't even listen. Anyone wants to argue with it, please come on and argue. Just plain dumb. Dumb. All right. My next point. I'm fired up now with this. So getting back to the high school basketball, one and done.
Mhm.
Baseball is the one sport, whether it's college or then you get into the Major League Baseballs, where they play a best 2 out of 3,
Like in the regular
3 out of
season, you're talking
5,
about.
5 out of 6.
You're
No,
talking-
no,
oh,
no,
no,
no.
in
I'm
the
saying in
play-
the postseason, College World Series, they
Oh,
do a
but-
best of
okay,
3.
Yeah.
ML baseball, you
But-
go.
But those college, you graduate and then you're still playing.
Yeah, no,
It's
no,
like
but-
tournament like 2 months later.
But I guess here's my point with that. You know, and the one thing that you see with baseball, and baseball's like, you know, the one probably sport in high school, it could just time up that, okay,
You're
you
pitching.
and I get to a state championship. We both have great pitchers. I had to pitch mine in a state semifinal. You rested it. You're going to get that advantage of the game. Would you want to see baseball, okay, have like a best of 3 for a state championship game?
For like a group, or for a state championship,
For a
like
state
group?
championship.
I'm gonna be honest. No, I wouldn't. I'm just not. I wouldn't.
No?
Nope.
Okay. I mean, that's the only sport. Again, I don't think you could do it in basketball. You're not going to play the best of 7, you know, but baseball is the one sport I could just
could
see
make
it.
an argument for
Yeah,
it.
because you're
I
not
understand that. I just
seeing
wouldn't want to see it.
you're seeing
personally,
a
that's all.
totally different team.
Yeah.
I guess is what
No,
I'm saying.
it's a very valid point. I just personally wouldn't want to see it.
So you would be against that.
Yeah, I would.
You like how it is right now.
I do. Yeah. Yep.
And another one, and this started up with the pandemic, and I think this is pretty cool. Is and I believe Ramsey was the one to do it. We always have Coach Bear on, our good friend Coach Bear, head coach of Ramsey football. Obviously the streaming aspect started because people weren't able to go to the game, whatever it was, there were policies and stuff like that. But he said to me when we used to ask him, hey, where do you where can we go eat in Rams if we came to a game? And I forgot the name of the place. We went there.
We went.
But anyway, he always said they're streaming the game there.
Yeah.
I like this. What's your thoughts on towns, even to the fact of there's an Applebee's in Clifton, there's, a town bar tavern in Lodi, there's, whatever.
Yeah.
Streaming those games at those places on a Friday night.
I think that's great. That's the whole premise of our show. Let's give these programs the notoriety and the exposure that they deserve. Absolutely.
But do you think towns would schools would frown upon that by saying
people would
yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think it would deter. I don't think it would deter people from going. I don't. I think that people are going to go. I think it gives more people the opportunity to see it. Yeah.
But like you're saying, just say, okay, well, don't go. It's really cold, or we're taking the family out to, we're going to go out to eat, and hey, the Ramsey State game's on, or whatever is on.
I think it's more like that people who wouldn't typically be there would watch it. Wouldn't typically.
I wonder Dr. John's thoughts on that. I mean, as an AD, of course, listen, people would want to watch it, but like you're saying, I mean, you still want to have a nice crowd. You want to get your gate and stuff like that.
And then if it did, you could stop. Yeah. But I think it's nice. I just think it's about getting as much exposure for those kids.
If you owned like a place like that, would you stream the game?
Yeah.
You would?
Yeah.
So you owned like a tavern in town, football games on, or
definitely.
Yeah. I think it's pretty cool. And when Coach Bear was like, oh, if you go there, you'll see the game. I was like, I never thought of it like a place like that doing it. You know what I mean? Now, again, there's Dr. John. Why not come to the Courts Field? If you can come to an Applebee's, why not to the game? See, I understand that. I really do.
Yeah. I just don't think that I feel like I don't think people would be. I guess I'm not looking at it as, oh, let's go to Applebee's to watch the game. I think it's more like, oh, hey, we're at Applebee's. We weren't going to go to the game, and I'm here at Applebee's with my family for dinner. And oh my gosh, look, the Clifton High School game is on. That's awesome. I can see, I think it'd be more catching that type of audience. Or maybe not. I mean, maybe some. I don't know. I think the people who are going to go to the games are going to go to the games, and this would be kind of like the bonus for people who weren't going to go anyway.
Like I said, I do see both sides of that, though, because you want as many people as you want, at that game.
Yeah.
And you might go and say, hey, why am I going to go? I'll go and eat, get a drink, and I can watch the game.
What about the person who, like you said, you mentioned it gets a little cold, right? Later in football season. So the person who's like, I'm not going to that game. It's too cold. They're like, not a player, not a fan, not a student, not a family member, but somebody in town who's just would have maybe gone. Now this gives them the opportunity to, though now you could really watch a lot of games from home.
Right. Well, that's the thing, you have sites that do a game of the week, and you can pay. So, you can't, and Dr. John saying that's fair hoops. I also think it's a big game. If it's a big game where there are pre-sales on tickets and the gym sells out, it may be a good option.
Mm-hmm.
See, listen, that happened to me. I remember I remember it was probably like early 2000s. And I remember taking Jody, we wanted to go see one of her good friends. And I grew up with her father was a coach. The girl that went to Paramus Catholic, her father was a coach in Garfield and stuff like that. And she was an unbelievable player. And I actually coached her in softball, but we went to go see this state championship. We couldn't get in. You know, like,
Mhm.
I mean, there were hundreds of people outside, like, well, we can't get in here. And they're like, it's it,
Yeah.
it's a smaller gym.
Right.
What do you
right.
do? So I do understand like that for an option.
Well, off of that, Dr. John is saying NJSIAA rules say for section rules that section state title games, the home team has to give the away team 40% of the available capacity. If we have fans who can't go due to the 40% rule, a place in town may be a good atmosphere for our fans. There you go.
And
Yeah.
Brian's saying to have it on TV, you have to have good announcers and good video quality to get viewers. That costs money, which schools are lacking for
You know
sports.
what?
Great point.
And also, it's funny that Brian says that because I was actually going to mention how I think it was Clifton actually. A lot of them have school programs that do that now,
Yes.
and which is a great opportunity for those kids to get that broadcasting experience. Like if that's something they're looking to do, or even the behind the scenes stuff if they're doing some type of production for college, and we really enjoyed one of them, right? The kids were cracking us up.
Oh yeah, yeah. My
But,
favorite is the
yeah.
Waldwick game, the Waldwick
Was
kids.
calling them the wrong
Yeah,
name.
it was
that's
just
who
hilarious. It
was.
was great. Dr. John saying Clifton doesn't make a job. Kenny saying, hey, Jen and Kurt, sorry, I'm late. What's the topic? Topic is streaming live. Like if you're a fan, like I said, Coach Baron Ramsey said that one of the taverns, I guess, food places in Ramsey streams their, when they stream their game, they show it like on a Friday night at their place. So people that are having drinks or eating dinner, the game's on, like you can go watch a college football game. So I'm a fan of it, but I do understand the fact that, you don't
want to take away.
You don't want to take away.
There being there.
Right.
Atmosphere.
Let's talk about grandparents, right? We talk about, like you're mentioning about, cold weather and stuff like that, but
not living close by.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like go right.
That's
I'm out of state. Yeah.
In general, yeah. So
Brian saying that's a great thing to get kids to announce and get them experience. We lack a hands-on subjunctive for kids. Yeah. Listen, I think it's cool. I think it's going to grow. I think a lot of sports are going to go that route. I'm trying to say you get now people putting on Twitter with just clips and highlights and stuff like that. But it's a pretty cool thing that when we played, we never had that. I mean, there was like games of the week and stuff like that.
Well, even what kind of piggybacking off of what Brian said and what we had said about the schools doing that is some of the stuff these kids are doing in high school now. We had the kid from Ramsey who would come on and join us, and he did a whole like video series on Ramsey football as his like project.
Yeah.
So like with that, it's just amazing. So kind of tapping into that, I guess, a little bit and like benefits.
Listen, we have
as well
working in Kearney. I mean, the past, I would say 3-4 years, they have like a whole now broadcasting curriculum. They do this right on sports where their middle school kids do it over the summer. Kenny's saying I'm 100% a fan. Wish we had that 20 years ago. Then you wouldn't have forgotten to plug in the camcorder. We would ask him to scout, but we would give him a camcorder that had no battery. And then we were yelling at him because we weren't sure what he was writing down, but he was good. He was good. I had one more. Do you have any topics? I had one more that I wanted to run by you. Oh, going back into the NIL. And again, this is something we mentioned way before we got into NILs and stuff like that. We mentioned about jerseys, right? Like say, just going to throw it out there. What was the kid's name from? Give me a player. Give me a great player right now. Lacrosse.
Well, what do you mean? Just anybody?
Your friend, who's the Pompton Lakes?
Oh yes, Krista Lilienthal, Rebecca's daughter, a phenomenal field hockey player at Pompton Lakes.
Okay. Sell Pompton Lake jerseys with a numbers? No, I mean I'm just throwing it out there.
We've talked about this. I mean, like.
Listen, will the family buy that? Will friends buy those? And now here's the thing. If you do it, does that person get a little percentage of money?
Ooh, I want to read Dr. John's
Yeah.
comment because this is a good one too. Little plug, look at West Orange. Their social media and video streaming is 100% student run. They're even getting into AI. Interesting, to create content. They are way ahead of the curve on the that's so cool. I am going to check that out. Remember, I was very impressed with Harrison's flag football social media. I mean, it's amazing what these schools can do. And even Coach Steele, what he's doing on social media to get his
Yeah.
kids noticed for recruiting for flag football.
And Kenny's
So very
asking if
cool.
anyone do they stream their games. You know what? I haven't seen. I mean, we see highlights. The Jets do a lot of the restreaming and stuff like that. I don't know if Irvington has anything live, but listen, it's the technology has changed so much. I mean, listen, we our good friend Coach Breslin used to work at Hawthorne and set this up, basketball game. This Dr. John saying they do.
Nice.
They do.
Yeah.
So what's your thoughts real quick on the NI with the jerseys?
I can't think of a reason why you wouldn't, like, especially like you're saying, kind of in line with all this NIL stuff. Why would that be? I don't know if there's something though with like the school name and selling it. I don't know if you have to have their permission. They're underage to have their name. I just don't know.
Well, maybe
what
not a
those
name.
things-
Maybe just she's number 10. You're selling the 10 field hockey jerseys.
I don't know. I don't know if there's any type of like ruling against that. Like, can you not do that for high school jerseys? I don't know. That's an interesting question. That's I wouldn't, like, if you're asking if there's some rule, obviously I don't know, but I wouldn't see an issue with that.
But do you think that if that was the case, would you say that person gets a percentage? Like I'm saying, is that like part of the NIL? I mean, again, we're in a totally different world now. That's the thing that's crazy.
Does every person who's worn that number get a percentage ever?
No. No.
Dr. John,
okay.
New Jersey students can't use their school's logo in their NIL days. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. So
there you go.
So Dr. John, I don't know if you're still there, but like, I didn't know if there was, I felt like I kind of just remembered from coaching that there was something with like, I don't know if you can do anything with high school uniforms like that, I'm just not sure. Like even without the NIL part of it, like selling like just a Montville jersey.
But listen, you've seen like when they do Subway or whatever, they did commercials. There's no jet jersey. It's a green jersey.
Yeah.
So you could do something like I said. We're saying, okay, Sharkies and Clifton want to do something with a Clifton quarterback. They put him in a maroon shirt.
Right.
Catch the latest deal or whatever, and it's him throwing, wings or something. Or no, in a poster.
The wing tee.
The wing tee. Yeah.
The wing tee.
I saw something.
Just have Sharky's marketing plan.
Talking about Dr. John and the wing tee. I saw, how I always said to you, like I would write down stuff on Twitter. I forgot. It's called like I forgot what it was called. Well, anyway, it's one of these like playbook things I follow, and it was actually pretty cool. They were in the shock. They had like a wing tee. They basically called it buck sweep, like toss. So they made, but again, out of shotgun, they made it look buck sweep, but they had like, motion, but out of the gun. It was nice. It's like, wow, great, like 2-point play. So, I wasn't the old school wing tee, but it was that. But that's pretty much the topic. So, and listen, we just think about like what we were talking about tonight, right? NILs for students, streaming games in locations,
the landscape of high school sports,
and how transfers are allowed and recruiting is allowed.
Social media. Dr. John is mentioning AI, artificial intelligence in high school. It's great, and it's changing rapidly.
And I think for the better. Good. And you know what? I've always argued this. You're getting them ready for the athletes who do play sports in college for what the real world is. Okay, like you cannot go and say, all right, I'm going so-and-so quarterback from Clifton's going to try to school, Kentucky. That kid's going to be like, what's what? Media, stuff like this. We want to do NILs. We want to do that. This is all happening now to some sense. You know what I'm trying to say? I like that. Do you?
Yeah, I think these are changes, change is good. We got to keep up with the times.
But I mean, like how it's getting really close to what the real world in that college, and if they ever get to professional, is going to be.
I know, but there's more to sports than like preparing the kid. I mean, that I don't know. I mean, that might be part of it. That might just be part of what's happening. But I have always felt like my goal wasn't, look, I wanted my kids to learn the game, have a love of the game, and learn life lessons, right? Have a positive experience, and want to maybe possibly give back to the sport in some way. So it's more than just, I'm not looking at every kid on my roster and thinking that I have to prepare them for the next
Oh,
level.
no,
It's not my
no.
end game,
No,
so
but what I'm
but I
saying,
hope
there
that
are some kids
those
who
went
will.
on and
Yeah.
played, that I did prepare them for
Exactly.
that. Yeah.
Listen, I don't care who you're coaching. You're not going to have, I mean, you can take the number one team in the state. They're not going to have every kid going to play at the next level. It doesn't happen like that. People think it does, but it doesn't happen like that.
Did
It
it run
doesn't.
at my school team?
It doesn't.
It did.
So, especially I'm taking a football team. There's 90 kids at, Don Bosco. Not every one of them is going to be, playing in the D1. It does, people think they do, but that's not reality. So it's not. But that's it. I mean,
right, good
listen,
topics.
Irvington, congratulations again. That's just awesome news.
Yep,
Again,
lots of
for
exciting
you
stuff
want
for
to
the
just review
sport.
one more time in case somebody's just watching what they did.
Yes, we had
What they're gonna do.
We welcomed Coach Steele back to the program tonight, and we shared two exciting things. This summer there will be, in addition to the boys, the Phil Sims North-South game they will be featuring a North-South girls flag football game as well at halftime that will be played. And there was also the second annual football classic is going to kick off the 2023 high school football season at the Nike World headquarters in Oregon. There'll be a high school football game and two girls flag football games, and Irvington High School was chosen to be one of the 4 teams competing out in Oregon for this event. So lots of great stuff to grow the sport, and really proud to see Irvington involved in all those things. Coach Steele will be coaching the North team at that flag football. I neglected to mention that. So thank you, Coach Steele, for coming on. Thank you, Dr. John, for always keeping us in the loop and helping us get in contact with Coach Steele so he could be our guest. And thank you everybody for watching tonight.
I want to give one more shout out to Coach Breslin, because we look nice and bright tonight. He showed us how to use the
lamps up.
The lights are up and we're nice and bright. So tomorrow when I have Kenny, and Kenny says to me, "Kurt, you're so dark. Why can't I see you? You're dark." I won't be dark tomorrow. I'll be nice and bright, Kenny. So we'll do that. All right. Great show.
Yep. Thank you for watching.
Oh, and Dr. John, one more comment. Happy birthday, Hoops.
Thanks
again,
so much.
Happy birthday
Thank
again.
you very much.
My
Thank
birthday
you.
will be in November, so I can catch up to you. Finally catch up to you.
Yeah. Okay. He's older.
Have a good night.